Hi Joseph, I'm Alex Jasinski. I am taking Arts 100 through University of Phoenix, which you teach. I am doing option C for my assignment, which deals with the Roman aqueducts. Okay, the Roman aqueducts and how they are similar to and different to our current city or management system. Okay, let me go ahead and give you some little background. The running water, like indoor plumbing and sewer systems that carry away diseases and wastewater from the population, um, didn't come to light until maybe the past 100 years or so. And the aqueducts began the most visible and glorious piece of ancient water system stand as a treatment to Roman engineering. The aqueducts provided water to the city of Rome, just like they provide water to our local cities as well. They also had a system set up to remove dirty water from the city, just like how our modern city system is set up. Like if the water was dirty in the bathhouses, they had the water run from the bathhouses somewhere so they can't reuse the water. Okay. Our sewer system nowadays removes the wastewater from our homes and businesses and is sent to a treatment plant versus where they didn't treat the water back then in the Roman times because they didn't have that technology or the knowledge of to treat the water, the nasty water. Um, Let me go back to where else. Um, then the water, then our city water our wastewater that is used and sent out to in the sewer system is sent to a treatment plant for it to be treated, like I said a while ago. Then it is pumped into the reservoir or lakes or it's man-made lakes. Then the water sits there, then it's brought back through some pipes and sent to a water treatment plant to to take out algae, the bacteria and everything, put chemicals in it for human consumption. It's safe for us to drink and bathe in and cook with, and let our animals drink it and water our grasses and so on. Um, Back then, they didn't have that kind of system. They used the water from the hillside springs, and sent down aqueducts into a big, big area in the center of the town called a cistern, Cisterns, which is similar to the water towers now that we have in our cities. Some cities have one, some cities have 6 or 10, depends on how big the city is and how much water it uses each day. That both systems are set up to hold the water and disperse it into pipes when it's time for it being used. They had lead pipes to send the water from the cisterns into the bathhouses, the fountains, and private villas that could tap into the network. But they had to pay people had to pay a fee to use the water. Just like with us now, we had to pay city tax, or we had to pay a water bill or a sewer bill sometimes. And you had to pay taxes on that. Versus the same thing goes for the Romans, the empires. They had to, the people who tapped into the water system, they had to pay a small fee to access that water. Our water is sent through nowadays through plastic pipes, PVC pipes, that is safer than using lead pipes. Because lead pipes, if our water eventually will have lead in it. That's why they quit using lead and copper pipes to send our fresh drinking water through it for us to use. And that's 100 years ago. They still got copper pipes out there, but they're not using the pipes anymore. and once they bust, they replace them and put in plastic pipes in its place because they last longer and they're able to the shift with the earth. So like when they have like little smaller tremors, the pipes are not supposed to bust like versus copper and lead pipes where they can't bend as much like the plastic pipes can. In our we're able to have city water in more places than um, the Romans could. Like we could have them in our homes, our restaurants, parks, any place you can name it. We have access to city water. There's water fountains everywhere. Schools have it. Hospitals, um, doctors' offices. They all have access to city water. And like there's certain places that Rome in certain places in Rome they only had access to the water, and if you needed water, you had to go to that place to get the water and bring it back to your home. Um, okay, the Romans had to use gravity to pull the water from the spring into the city because they didn't have no system like we had. And we had pumps to pump our water through the pipes to come to our houses, and the vice versa for the sewer. They have sewer systems that eventually pulls the sewage away from certain areas because our most of our pipes are now flat or semi-flat. They're not 100% level, but they're kind of cockeyed, so it has a little bit of flow. So, but they use pumps to um, carry the water, the wastewater from our homes, and to bring in fresh, clean water to our homes. Versus the Romans didn't have that city water, where they have pumps to pump the water to the cisterns. They use gravity, which gravity works as well. It brings the water straight to the cisterns, and then it's dispersed through pipes to where it needs to go to, like the bathhouses, to public fountains and stuff like that. And then what I had noticed is that 30% of the aqueducts in Rome are exposed because it's out and open from the hillside to the city. The water runs on concrete, not concrete, but on granite and other types of stones to bring the water to the city. Versus us, our water is not exposed once it leaves the water plant until it hits our tap at our home or businesses for us to use. What I did notice about the Romans, the Roman engineers, that when they built their aqueducts, they built it in a way that the stone that the aqueduct is supposed to have last for many years in the future to bring the water to continue to carry water to the city. They thought ahead of time, and the work they did is a masterpiece because you look at designs on websites, on the pictures on the websites and videos, you can look and be amazed at how the designs they put into building the aqueducts and what they look like. Oh, sorry. Cause I've seen them where they're like there's 3 stages, 3 levels, and it's pretty neat how they was able to come up with that design and had that design to work with bringing the water down to the city. They were pretty smart back in the day, and they were thinking about their people, they was thinking about how to bring fresh drinking water to their people. And sorry, I do apologize. I don't feel too well. How to bring, where was I at? How to bring drinking water from the the springs to the city versus having the people can walk in to a local stream or nearby stream somewhere to bring water back to their homes, where they can go walk a little ways into the city to bring the water back to their homes, which it was good. Yeah, before that time, before they could bring before they built the aqueducts, people had to, like I said, they had to walk the streams to bring the water back so they could cook and bathe with and wash their clothes with and stuff like that. Or they had to take their clothes to the streams and wash their clothes on a washboard or to get their clothes clean. And that's all I learned. Rome. They have so many beautiful things that they have created back in the Roman Empire days, the time period. They have beautiful sculptures, artwork, and aqueducts. All have lasted thousands of years since they were created, versus some things that was made maybe 100 years ago. It's not standing anymore because it wasn't built sturdy enough like it was back then. As you in other areas of the world that was built hundreds and hundreds of years ago, those buildings are still standing. Versus the United States, they thought about the future, about how to keep their buildings distinct, to keep their buildings and their masterpieces to be standing for a long period long time down the road, which I am fascinated about the aqueducts. I actually want to see them in motion because I heard that there's still a portion of the aqueducts that is still in use today. And the other parts of it is just standing there because it's an artwork now because it's not being used. It's a tourist attraction.